10 Things I Hate About You is one of the all-time greatest teen movies. This modern adaptation of William Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew had it all. Romance, subterfuge, detestable villains, the works. Nearly 2 decades after its release, the film still holds up as a charming romantic comedy. And while most of its stars have gone on to other things, some are still best remembered for their parts in this ensemble dramedy. Here's what became of the 10 Things I Hate About You cast after they left the halls of Padua High School. Julia Stiles. The rad, no-nonsense feminist Kat Stratford pretty much made every young woman want to wear nothing but natural waves and low-rise sweatpants with cami tops for the rest of their lives.
So you're just gonna start wearing them now?
Stiles soon became a staple of the teen scene, with turns in Oh, Down to You, and Save the Last Dance rounding out her teen queen phase. But then she nabbed a lasting role in the hugely successful Jason Bourne action franchise and hasn't looked back. Although she's also become known for some of her off-camera drama, like her rumored relationship with Dexter co-star Michael C. Hall, she's still building a very decent filmography for herself. Stiles is currently starring in Neil Jordan's lush TV miniseries Riviera, as a grieving widow Georgina who sets out to find her husband's killer after he mysteriously passes away, bringing much of that familiar Kat Stratford attitude to another strong woman in crisis role.
I want you. I need you. Oh baby, oh baby.
Heath Ledger. As the dashing Aussie bad boy Patrick Verona, Heath Ledger quickly earned a place in all the hearts of those who watched the actor peel back the layers of his crafted tough guy image to reveal a real softie beneath.
Are you telling me I'm not a pretty guy?
I'm very pretty!
Ledger soared to mainstream success following his knockout performance in the role, earning praise for his emotionally resonant work as a lovelorn cowboy in Brokeback Mountain, and stunning everyone into frightened submission with his turn as the Joker in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. His career was cut short, however, when Ledger passed away after an accidental drug overdose in 2008. He was awarded a well-deserved posthumous Oscar for his vexing villainy and will forever be remembered as one Hollywood star that fell far too soon. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. At the time 10 Things I Hate About You was released, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was arguably the most well-known young star in the film. He'd enjoyed a fruitful career as a child star before, with leading roles in films like Angels in the Outfield and the hit small-screen series Third Rock from the Sun. And while he wasn't the biggest heartthrob of the flick, the doting and genuine Cameron was still a dream boyfriend in his own right. Even though he was relatively established by the time his mega crush set the events of 10 Things into motion, Levitt really ascended to the A-list in the years that followed. Count 500 Days of Summer, Inception, The Dark Knight Rises, and Looper on the list of his most well-known roles to date. And that's not all. Joseph Gordon-Levitt has also arrived as a filmmaker himself, helming his debut pick Don John in 2013 and launching his own production company to help budding auteurs get their start in the biz the way he had so many years before. Larisa Oleynik. Another TV regular was Nickelodeon's Alex Mack herself, Larisa Oleynik, who, along with Levitt, had carved out a successful career on the small screen before bratty Bianca established her as a serious film actor. 10 Things was a real growing-up moment for Oleynik, who up until that point was more familiar to audiences as tomboy Mac in a Hat, or even cherubic Dawn from The Babysitter's Club.
Aha! Black panties.
Her growth into a serious actor continued after the movie, mostly on TV, with take-notice turns in the likes of Pretty Little Liars and Mad Men. David Krumholtz. Before 10 Things hit theaters, David Krumholtz already had his face into the cinematic mainstream by way of his memorable roles in Addams Family Values and The Slums of Beverly Hills. And he's been capitalizing on his character actor finesse ever since. These days, he's keeping busy with TV work, but did lend his vocals to the raunchy comedy Sausage Party, as well as appeared in This Is the End and Hail Caesar. Clearly, if Krumholtz's character list is anything to go by, geeks will inherit the earth. Andrew Keegan. There was no shortage of heartthrobs on the cast list for 10 Things, so Andrew Keegan was certainly in good company at the time. Thanks to his work in films like Camp Nowhere, he was already a teen mag poster boy before he became the boy everyone loved to hate, Joey Donner.
As opposed to a bitter, self-righteous hag who has no friends?
Keegan's career trajectory ever since then might be the weirdest and most unexpected out of anyone, though. he's had a few projects here and there, his true passion nowadays is running his own unusual religious group. Yes, really. He co-founded a so-called spiritual center called Full Circle, where he spends his time planting rose quartz crystals in the ground and doing yoga to fulfill his destiny as a soul healer. Somehow, we get the sneaking suspicion he wouldn't be so hung up on his headshots nowadays, so at least there's that. Susan May Pratt. Starring as the grumpy but sweet Mandela, Susan May Pratt made an impression as the Shakespeare-obsessed sidekick who wasn't so hell-bent on rejecting society's rules as her bestie.
Who the hell would go to that antiquated mating ritual? I would.
The breakout role would lead Pratt to snag several subsequent gigs, including supporting roles in films like Drive Me Crazy and Center Stage. She's since traveled to the TV side of things with roles in shows like Mad Men, as well as worked on indie films. So, while Pratt might not be the most marquee name to come out of the 10 Things cast, she's certainly keeping herself plenty busy these days. Gabrielle Union. After starring as the duplicitous BFF Chastity in 10 Things, Gabrielle Union went on to accelerate her status as a screen star, with prominent roles in Bring It On, Love and Basketball, and Bad Boys 2. Off-screen, she's even more prolific. A proud civil rights activist, Union has been a proponent for African American rights and a staunch supporter of sexual assault victims over the past few years, using her platform to speak out about her own rape and personal experiences with racism. Larry Miller. The high school-age stars of 10 Things weren't the only ones to enjoy those quirky moments of melodrama that made this movie so special. Comedian and character actor Larry Miller managed to steal every scene he was in as Walter Stratford, the overreaching single dad whose days as an OBGYN made him especially wary of his daughters dating anyone.
Thought we decided you were going to stay here and go to school. You dub like me. Be a husky.
Miller later starred on the short-lived and best left forgotten TV spin-off of the same name. But that didn't stop him from popping up elsewhere, including the cult favorite Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and the stylist extraordinaire Paolo in The Princess Diaries. Given his baritone outbursts in 10 Things, it's unsurprising he's found voiceover work too, providing his pipes for B-Movie and the Penguins of Madagascar series. Daryl Mitchell. If there was one person who could stand to go toe-to-toe with the terrifying Cat Stratford, it was her well-meaning English teacher, Mr. Morgan.
Get out of my class.
What?
Out! Get out!
Already a TV vet by the time 10 Things came around, actor Daryl Mitchell had previously appeared on everything from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to The John Larroquette Show, and the small screen has remained his professional residence ever since, although he has had some other big screen endeavors like Galaxy Quest. He currently stars on NCIS New Orleans, playing a wheelchair-bound character after suffering a real-life spinal cord injury in a motorcycle accident. Allison Janney. Miss Perky was already a legend of the stage and screen before 10 Things came along, but that didn't make Allison Janney's turn as the hilarious pervy guidance counselor any less of a joy.
The point is, Cat.
She followed it up with eye-catching roles in Drop Dead Gorgeous and American Beauty before making a serious name for herself across 7 must-watch seasons of The West Wing. Janney has stuck to TV in the years since, most prominently starring opposite Anna Faris as a hilariously mismatched mother-daughter duo on the hit sitcom Mom. She also made her teen movie return as a spunky divorcee mother in The Duff. Still no word on whether Miss Perky ever finished her erotic novel, but Allison Janney is doing just fine these days.
As always, thank you for your excellent guidance. I'll let you get back to Reginald's quivering member.
Kyle Cease. No 10 Things I Hate About You discussion would be complete without the inadvertent party host, Bogey Lowenstein. He may have been a bit of a mystery to his non-math club classmates, but the actor who played him, Kyle Cease, is anything but shy. A Seattle native, his focus following the flick was stand-up, with 2 Comedy Central specials airing in 2006 and 2009. These days, however, Cease works as a motivational speaker, touring across America under the umbrella of his video series Evolving Out Loud, which incorporates his funny bone. He's even written a book entitled I Hope I Screw This Up. Cease hasn't dipped his toe into the showbiz world in a few years, but he did have a memorable turn as the slow clapper in Not Another Teen Movie, a clever nod to his Lowenstein character. He might not have the same A-list status most of his former co-stars did, but hey, at least he's got a sense of humor about it. Thanks for watching. Click the list icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.